بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام على خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب الله محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين لا سيما بقية الله في أرضه صاحب الزمان عجل الله فرجه الشريف واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى أبد الآبدين آمين رب العالمين. In the name of God, most gracious, most glorious. So today's subject, I am speaking on something we've heard growing up as adults, workplace, home, wherever you go, life in general. Life is unfair. Why? Why is life unfair? So I want to tell you that life is supposed to be unfair. Life is supposed to be different between yours, your brothers, your friends, strangers, the president, coworkers. God didn't create us all to be robots, first of all. So what's that got to do with life being fair? Well, put it to you this way. We all have capabilities. We all have things we're good at, things we're bad at, some we're equal at. And that's what makes this world a beautiful place, is the unfairness sometimes. The unfairness is what builds characteristics, personalities, shows the real people, the strong people from the weak, the humble from the unhumble. It shows the different things in life that we should have, because life should be unfair. One person grew up rich, one person grew up poor is probably the biggest thing people say. Why did God put me into this life and he has someone else into this life? Believe it or not, some people, if you take away their money, they have no value. Just because that's all they've known, because they're rich, they grew up that lifestyle, that's just the way. But the person who's poor and learned to, and grew up with, in that life, understands and appreciates everything that he gets and works hard for. He has a higher motivation, a higher drive. I'm not saying everybody who grew up in a rich home had it rich, or they don't have motivation, or don't have the acceptance or the drive of someone who grew up in a poor. But sometimes God puts people in these situations because these people do different things in this world, and because we're kind of in a universal circle that everything goes together. No matter what status, that's just on wealth status, poor or rich. But some people grow up with no parents. Some grow up with their parents, their aunts, their uncles. Everyone, they want in their family. Why? Well, I can't tell you exactly why God does the way he does, but I can tell you from experiences that when you grow up with all that and the support you have, it can help you in certain situations. But also, it can teach you to be very dependent. So you got to look at it from both aspects. People who grow up without a parent, or without the parents, or without all that support, yes, sometimes they can go into a path that's not what they should be doing. But then again, the people who grow up with all that support can sometimes have just as bad. So, but also the person growing up without that learns to be very independent, very strong-minded, have his own personality instead of taking from all these other support systems. It has its good and its bad in both ends. I'm not telling you, if you grow up with all the family, you're very fortunate, that's great. And if you grow up with little support, little family, that's, it doesn't mean that's a bad thing either. So life is not supposed to be fair, because if it was fair, we all be on the same scale. We all be doing the same thing. We'll all be like robots. Everyone here is going to be on an equal playing field, and the world won't really go around if life was fair. Well, I know some people might be thinking, like, oh, well, all you tell me how is it fair when people are being treated a certain way. Now, that's a different type of fair. You're going to have cruelty and evil wherever you go, whether it's governments, societies, communities. There's evil people. That's not the fair I'm talking about. Yes, there's kids who grew up in a war zone. Me, myself, I grew up in a refugee camp, so I can't tell you what a hospital was. I can't tell you what a birth certificate is. You see what I'm saying? Different situation, but I've came a long way, and it's not something that holds me back. Yes, there's people who grow up in situations, or are born into situations, the battlefields, or being tortured by governments, or go this or that, or in the neighborhoods that are bad. That's a different type of fair that I'm talking about. I'm just saying that life, God has put us all in different positions for He has a purpose for each one of us. Some with a lot of money, and a bunch of problems. Some with no money and no problems and have peace of mind. There's people across the world who don't live in America who are here all the time are living. They are living, a spiritual life, a life fulfilled on a family, faith, respect, all this other stuff. But they have little, but they are happy inside. They have a peace of mind. And you have people who are living here with everything they want materialistically, but have no peace of mind, no true love, no true connections. So it goes back that fairness, life is not supposed to be fair, but you have to make the most of your life. Like I said, some people have more than you, some of you will have more than others, vice versa. And whatever it could be family, wealth, materialistic stuff, whatever it is. But I want to tell you something. Whatever it is, life is always going to be unfair. So for the biggest thing we should do is focus on what we have in front of us. Focus on what you have, because a lot of it's taught that they envy. Oh, this guy came and he's driving this, or look at that big old house and I live in this apartment, or this. No, to focus on actually be like, okay, this is what I have, this is what I'm going to work with, and this is what I'm going to work toward. Let the envy go, because life is not going to be fair. Yeah, some people start at a higher starting point than others, but it doesn't mean you don't keep going. You don't start. When that light turns green, don't mean you don't go when you have the opportunity. Just because you're in the back doesn't mean you can't get ahead. Life's not supposed to be fair, but it's about making the most of what you have and getting to where you want to be for you and your generations and the generations that come after you. So, like I said, the fairness builds people, builds characteristics, personalities, teaches people patience. It also, teaches people to be humble. So the unfairness is well needed in this world. A lot of people are, it's unfair that I grew up a certain way. No. You should be thankful instead of being ungrateful. Be thankful that you grew up a certain way and you learned that, you can do with what you have and become whoever you want, no matter what the circumstances is. Last thing I want to talk about is worry about what's in front of you. Life is not going to be unfair, always. Whether it's at work, you see someone getting treated a different way, or in the community, or in the government, or if you can't make a positive change, don't worry about that. Worry about your life and the things you can do in your world to make changes for your future. If you have kids, for their future, stick to that. Stick to focusing on that change, because life will always be unfair. And I'm here to tell you, accept it. Be thankful it's not, because I sure don't want to have the same life as everyone else. I like to be different. I like to know things different, or chase a different type of knowledge, or come from a different background that gave me the hustle, the motivation for knowledge and success, or whatever else I do. So that's where I'm gonna leave it today. I'm gonna go ahead and leave with a prayer. We're gonna get out of here, go back to work. In the name of God, most gracious, most glorious, Allah, I pray you remove all envy from our lives. Allow us the capabilities to work for everything we ever want. Help us show only love and compassion toward others. Grant us what is good in this world and in the next. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كل وليك حجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وناصرا وقائدا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتع طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى الله على محمد وعلى محمد. اللهم اجعلنا من يستمع القول فيتبع أحسنه. اللهم اصلح لنا ديننا يا الله. إلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات أحياء منهم والأموات والشاهدين والسامعين. سورة الفاتحة تصبغ الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.